Hello folks, hope you're all doing well. This video is the third video in a series of videos I'm making entitled AUTOMOBILISTA 2 version 1.2.2.0, the good, the bad and the bugly. And this is all about the new update, what's come with it, the good parts of it, the not so good parts of it, and the odd bug that I discovered. If you've not seen the first two, I'll leave a link to the last one I made, which is to do with a sticky tarmac bug, at the end of this video. But in this video, I'm really chuffed about this video because I get to show you something that I really like about the new update, and that is this: the Salvador Street Circuit, or maybe you know it better as Circuit Ayrton Senna, or CAB. And this track comes from about 2009. It's a street circuit. It's tight, it's twisty, it's hard to overtake on, and you're just under 2 miles in length. So you're lapping it, say, in a car like this, the Chevrolet Cruze stock car of 2019. I suppose the average driver would be lapping it just over 1 minute, about 1 minute 10 maybe, something like that. So we're going to go there and have a look at it. We're going to have a quick race round it. It's really good fun to race on. It's very popular with the stock car series, so they race there a lot. And one thing that with the stock car series having the push to pass button, you really have to figure out where you're going to use that, because there's not a straight long enough on this track to be able to use the full extra horsepower for the amount of time that it's on, so you have to really think about it. Whilst these cars are just going through qualifying, I hope you can hear me over the noise of the engine. Let's, or the noise of the engine of the other cars. Let's just go have a look around the track. So this is our pit lane, and here we go. Now, this circuit is in the state of Bahia, in the city of Salvador, which is the capital of the state of Bahia in the Federal Republic of Brazil. And one of the first things you notice about this track is the architecture. Now, there are some pretty striking buildings around this track, and that would be, well, this one here would be Paramount. You can see that there over on the left. That is the exhibition centre of the administrative centre of Bahia. And that building there looks like something out of Star Trek, to be honest. That was actually designed in 1974. And which is quite fitting, because of course we now have the new Porsche in the game, which is also from 1974. That's the RSR. Anyway, we're going to pull off the track here, because before I do anything else, I just want to have a look at this building. You can actually get to it on the infield here. Now, it was designed by a Brazilian architect by the name of Jaio, and it stands, as you can see, it's like a bridge. It's suspended. You've got those two towers in the middle which suspend it with those 4 struts there, the 4 thin struts. And you've got an exhibition centre in one end and an amphitheatre in the other. Those 2 towers there, at the base of them, they're about 4 metres wide. There's an elevator in one side, in one of those towers, and a staircase in the other. This part here, this inverted flat top pyramid, stands just about 2 metres above the ground, so you can get your car under there. And on the other side, of course, you've got the flat top pyramid that faces upwards. There are actually windows in that. I just think it's an amazing building. But anyway, I'm sure you've had enough of me waffling on about 1970s brutalist architecture. Brutalist architecture is a style that was around then. It was used by places like the Barbican in London, and the Erasmus building in Cambridge, which was designed by Sir Basil Spence. Anyway, let's get back onto the track. If you drive around this track, you will notice that there are other buildings which are also sort of that brutalist style, quite impressive. I mean, look over there, look at that one. I found this with a lot of Brazilian tracks, these Brazilian tracks, that has introduced me to some rather impressive architecture. So thank you, Breezer, for bringing us another brilliant. Oh, and I've got traffic now. Okay, things are hotting up a bit. The other thing are these huge curbs here. Those huge curbs. There's two corners like that, two sharp sort of hairpin corners at each end of the track, and those high curbs, they can cause for some unexpected two-wheel action if you hit them wrong. For instance, I did this earlier. So yeah, they can catapult you up into the air. So back to the track itself, you've got this corner here which you can go flat out now, which takes you past the exhibition centre there. Then you've got this sharp hairpin, an ascending left-hander, which then you've got a brake here, and be careful with your brakes. There's a bit of a bump there as you go over it. The car, you know, you can lock your brakes easier, and then you've got that chicane there, which you really have to slow down because it tightens up as you go around it. Now this corner here is long and sweeping, but it tightens just at the end, so you can't really take that at full pelt. Once you get to a certain point of the apex on that corner, you need to come off the throttle, else you end up in the outside wall. Then you've got this very tight left-hander back to the start straight finish, and immediately you've got this chicane here with the huge sausage curbs, which is not a corner that you want to take too wide. Now this leads me to a bit of a problem with the track. Now the AI are amazing around here. For a tight, twisty street circuit, they deal with it really, really well, and the racing is pretty amazing. But there is a problem with that chicane in that the AI drivers will try and go too wide through there, and the huge sausage curbs don't seem to affect them maybe as much as it would you, so it's hard to keep pace with them, but they will try and go through there too wide. There is no way in hell you'd ever want to take that chicane too wide, because you ground out on the sausage curbs. And this is, I think, Breezer are quite good at bringing out a track and then updating the AI paths specifically for that track, and I would love to see in the future them refine the AI's paths through there, because you shouldn't be able to go too wide through there because of those curbs, and you shouldn't be able to take a car over those curbs. You should ground out. But the thing is, and I'll let these cars go past. Do you want to go past there, matey? There you go. To show you what I mean, I'm going to have to try and change the view of the car. Now, in the force feedback, you can, let's get rid of all of that, you can feel the red and white curbs, and also on the outside there's some red curbs as well, stopping you just driving straight over there. So these red and white curbs there, I've got a bit of attention from behind here, they register, but the sausage curbs don't seem to register. These red bars here, they certainly register in the force feedback. But if I just, if you can see, it's really hard to see because it's, unfortunately the view doesn't come back far enough from this car to show you the bottom of the spoiler. This car's far too low to go over there. You see? It's registering on the wheels and the force feedback, but look, the bottom of the spoiler is right through that red bar. You see, so really, if you tried to go over them, it should be ripping off your front splitter and your front spoiler. And also, if you look at the, there you go, if you can see that, there is the sausage curb poking through the car. Now, if I was to position the car straight on to that curb, so it's about in the middle, there you go, you can see it's going right through the car. The car should ground out on that, but it doesn't physically affect the car. I can feel through the force feedback those red and white curbs, as I said, just been knocked off the track. And those red curves, and again. But it's not actually registering those big sausage curves. And the AI don't notice them at all. So, that's the problem with the track. I'd really like to see that sorted out. And I really don't want to see the AI trying to get too wide through that. I'd like to see them having as much trouble with it as you would, and I'd like to see those yellow sausage curves take effect. Anyway, there's the information about the track. I'm using the 2019 stock car because in this update, this car has had updates to the tyre physics, and I think all of the GTs and stock cars have had updates to the differential. I've got to say, this car is feeling really, really, really good. It really is. Anyway, this car's been improving since it's one of the original cars that was in the game when it first came out, and yeah, this car, you find the older cars in the game have got more and more refined, quite a lot of them. So this is driving just great. Anyway, come out here, we're going to go and back to the pit box, skip to the end of the race, and I'll try and get some replay cameras in here as well. And let's have a quick 10-minute race around here. See, look, they're all doing between 1 minute 8s and 1 minute 10s. I'm just under a 1 minute 10 around here. But I'm going to start from the back of the grid. It's about 1 minute per lap in here. So we got 10 minutes of racing. So let's stick. We'll be doing stick 11 laps worth of fuel in there. That should cover us okay. I'm going to do nothing to the setup. The only thing I've done is put the brake pressure at 100%. And let's see what a race looks like. We start off on the starting grid just before that first chicane with the big sausage curbs. The AI are going to try and go too wide through there. The curbs will not affect them. This is the only problem with the track. Otherwise, apart from the odd minor graphical glitch I've noticed around this track, which I'm sure Reza will clear up, you get some weird sort of reflections on the cars. I'm loving this track. Thank you so much, Reza, for introducing me to another fantastic Brazilian track. Let's get out there at Circuit Center in Salvador. Okay, 10 minutes of Salvador. Here we go. So we've got that chicane coming up. The moment you start accelerating, you've got to decelerate for this chicane. You can see the cars going too wide through there. They shouldn't be able to do that. I'm much slower through there as well because the curbs are affecting me more than they are. Oh my word! Now that was rather unexpected. I was only just saying how the AI deal with this track really well. I've never seen the AI in my practice runs crash just there. Let's see if we can outbrake that car. Yes! Your best bet to make any passes on this track is to try and outbrake the cars around those two hairpins at each end of the track with the steep red and white curbs. It's very hard in other places. We've got a car that's being slightly pushed there by the one behind, but he made it through. Apart from that, monumental backflip the car in earlier. There's as you can see, they're now dealing with it just fine. Let's see if we can get down the inside. He's not giving us much room. We're side by side. May have made the slightest bit of contact, but only paint scraping. Nothing more than that. And with this car is going to see that. He's just gone straight over those curbs. I've had to go wide. That shouldn't be possible. It's the only thing that really sort of damages the experience of this track. Look at the exhibition centre there. Just what an amazing looking building. It really does look like something out of Star Trek. It's fantastic. Right, back at the back of the pack. We've now got our push to pass or extra horsepower button activated. So we're going to have to be really careful about where we choose to use that. You wouldn't want to use it on this corner here because this corner gets tighter. You don't want any more. You don't want to waste it on this corner because you have to lift there. Well, I do. You might be able to figure out a way of getting around it where you don't have to lift, but I usually leave the push to pass until we're back at the start finish straight, which is here. I'll activate it about now, so just before the chicane. I've got to slow down for anyway. As we come out, you should see that blue bar down in the bottom right hand corner going down. That's our extra horsepower, so we can take this corner flat out. We do have to brake before we've used all of the push to pass. As we come around this corner, but you've got a little bit more push to pass, just the last dregs of it as you come out of the corner there. You may choose to use the push to pass somewhere else, but I'm finding it's most economically used there. Right, up the hill to the kind of round. I think this is actually on the actual road. That's a kind of a bit of a roundabout maybe there. And look, we got two right. The cars are going around the outside here. The AI battling with each other, but not making contact, keeping it clean. And I've just braked very late there. Did make a few places, but nearly lost it. And we've just got touched. I did turn in on. That was my fault. I turned in on the car behind me there, and we just got pushed into the wall a bit. The AI will start now going, as the field thins out, they'll start going single file through that chicane there, as they should do really. And we've got that Shell red and white car, red and yellow and white car behind us there, making a move on the inside. There he goes. But, and I've just touched that curb on the inside. Didn't want to do that. He's side by side with me here. This is what makes this track really great. It's just, you get side by side and you don't want to be side by side for too long around here, because it most likely will lead to an accident, especially if you drive like me, which is not fantastically well. You want to be careful of the accelerator on the exit of these turns. Too much, especially if you've got a well locked up diff, push to pass again, you will risk spinning the back of the car. Right, so extra horsepower now coming into effect. Try and take full advantage of that. Oh no, but I had to lift slightly there. And the Shell car looking for the inside down there, but we've still got a little bit of push to pass. We've just used that on the exit, help us propel us forward and away from his attack there. It's an incredible flow to this track. Oh, there we go. Okay, can I try and go outside, in, out, and try and maximise speed through the corner without touching the wall? Yes! A tiny little lift still, but managed to get through that corner much faster that time. I'm sure you aliens out there will be able to figure out a much more efficient and effective way of getting around there. See, now I've tried to stay just on the red and white curves there to get through there, not to unsettle the car. Those AI have just flown straight through it. Really do hope reader can have a look at the AIW path. Also make those sausage curbs real and physical. So, you know, if you did happen to stop on one of them with two wheels on either side, you'd actually ground out and end up perched on top. That's what they're there for in real life. So, but I think I did say earlier, Reza are very, very good at gradually refining things, and they've gradually refined the AI paths of some of the different tracks and some of the different cars. Oh, just touched the wall, just touched it, no damage. Would have lost a bit of paint though if this was a real car, I think. I've got the AI, by the way. I think they're at 108 or 106 skill difficulty. About my level with these cars. Aggression's at about 70, just in case you were wondering. And I've forgotten to use my push to pass. The other thing about the push to pass is because it's such a short track. Oh, getting a touch! Oh! He was having a look down the inside. I wasn't paying attention. I've turned in on him slightly, and we got knocked around. I have got damage, quite a bit of damage to the right front. I'm going to try and soldier on. Steering's on the kink. It's pulling to the right. This is what makes this track so exciting. Look at that building there. Loving these trees as well. A few different varieties as we go past the infield there. Also, that building there on the outside there, another sort of brutalist architecture building. Odd looking thing, that. Oh! And now usually if I went over those red bars there, I'd get a track limits warning, but I think we got away with it because we didn't make any extra time. Excuse me. Getting overtaken there in our stricken car, which is, yeah, that damage has really affected the braking as well. Getting quite out of shape on braking. And we are down in very last place. Just touched the wall there. You heard that slamming noise there. But we're still with the pack. And I shall soon be getting ready to use my push to pass. Try and just keep up with these cars. Maybe keeping up's about all I can do. Overtaking so hard around here. Look at that, those yellow curves just not affecting. There's our push to pass. I've pushed it far too late. It's going to come into effect as we round this corner, so I'm under braking, so I'm not even using what I've got now, but we can use it here. Still got the push to pass working, flat out, and that has helped us catch up a little bit to this red and orange car here. Sorry, black and orange car. So you're braking all the way into it, and then just come off the brakes as you come round the corner there. I've just tapped the wall again. I do apologise about my abysmal driving. Oh, and I'm going to do it again. I've been doing all right around this track so far, but I forgot to lower the AI skill level a little bit to account for the fact that I'd be using a little bit of my brain to concentrate on talking through this video. So I'm not keeping up as well as I was, but that is the end of the race there. As you can see, I think the AI, you know, apart from the problem with that chicane, the AI coped with the rest of the track absolutely fine. They've certainly done better than I have, apart from maybe this blue and white car here. He seems to be missing a spoiler. Got a few scuffs around the back end there. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll try and get the replay cameras in here so you can see the race from the outside. And let's go and let our car rest up once again. How am I able to get over that curve with a car with skirts millimetres from the, or centimetre from the ground? Let's go rest up. Mind the pedestrians there. Underneath the exhibition centre. Well, we'll just go around the other side, actually. Oh, there we go. There we are. Well, yeah, in summary, great track, really challenging. I think it would be great for smaller, really small, low-powered cars like the Formula V, maybe MCRs, something like that. But absolutely amazing. Really would like to see those curbs in the AI path sorted out. I'd like those curbs to be actually physical, so if you stopped on top of them, you get stuck. You can't even hear the car grounding out as you go over them. But apart from that, love the track. Thank you to Reza for introducing me to well, Salvador, a place I knew nothing about till I made this video. Anyway, if you find my videos interesting, useful, or just entertaining, and you want to see more, then if you want this channel to survive, do me a favor and hit subscribe. May seem like a small thing to do, but it enables me to make more videos for you. By hitting that button, you can help us thrive. So I just keep this channel alive. Don't cost nothing, don't take no time. Come on now, keep this channel alive.